as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter, right? Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 19-yard line.
What now? 185.
I know he ain't got it.
You're mine.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Down. 180.
Check. Walk 54. It's just me and you. It's just me.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Carr. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 43. A first down carry by Elliott. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. Well, we see so many good battles in the NFC East, and Cowboys and Giants, they rarely disappoint. They didn't disappoint last year. Cowboys got the better of the Giants both times. Week 2, 20-13, and then in Week 17, a thriller, 36-35. That was a game where Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. Oh, the spin. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Cooper was the target there. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. This is Barkley. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
180. 54. Let's put him up.
Here's Barkley. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey.
That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 41-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Well, that's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. From midfield, here's Carr. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now a play fake. Carr. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, 180. Mike 54. Later 1. Here I come.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Being chased out left. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch tight. Watch tight. Tight ends right.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Carr, they'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Carr. He's going to loft one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 40. The 20. 10. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard. 92 yards, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call, right?
was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo.
10th carry now for Elliott. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got his target. It's Cobb. Touchdown, Cowboys. Touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That one goes for 24 yards.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
That's the way.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now it's Barkley.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
3rd down and 9.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Operating from the gun. Carr, pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jalen Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Here's Austin. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
We're going to 54. Here we go.
2nd and 5 now. Prescott, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Prescott from the gun. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Shift.
Here we go, 47. 26.
Prescott now from the 50. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Don't get nervous. Safety's creeping. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Hey, kill.
You better be afraid of me. You hop on.
Go, get out there, 26.
They'll run on 1st down. Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
Check 93's the mic. 94. Going nowhere.
Under.
93's the mic. It's our field. It's our field.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott is going to go for, wide open, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Austin Safarian Jenkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Riley Dick. And look at this, it's a fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
And the Cowboy first down.
Here we go.
Pick me up. Here we go. Here we go. Tighten up. Watch tight end. Watch tight end.
Gun. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, but it'll be second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Sweat, hey.
On second down, Prescott again. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Giants on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Carr, and he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Prescott now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Try to lay one up deep. It's caught inside the 25. And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Maher is good. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Let's go, D. Check. 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 Check.
Elliott. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Go, get out there, get out there. 26.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brought down back at the 27.
Here we go. Go right in. Here we go, 47.
Check. 93's the mic. 93's the mic.
26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
26.
3rd and long for Prescott. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some more. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.